Do you have a voice for him?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, he's kind of got this like kind of happy-go-lucky voice. He's got a bunch of songs. There's a bunch of songs there. There's a bunch of like he's got his morning song. Oh, hi, Linus. Hello, friend. He's like a little sentinel. The way he sits up into attention.
He does. He has very good posture.
I very appreciate.
What is your what's the morning song?
The morning song goes, and it goes because he kind of prances in the morning on his walk. So the background of it is the taps of his feet. It goes tum 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 tum, because it's the morning, my favorite time of the day, and it's starting in the very best way. First we're eating, and then we're gonna play. Today could be my favorite day. Dum 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 dum.
Oh my God!
And so that came out one morning.
Hi, I'm Maggie Lawson, and welcome to Unconditional. Every week, we explore the extraordinary bond between people and their pets. This isn't just another pet podcast. This is about the extraordinary lengths we go to for our furry family, the moments of connection, and the way they transform us. I am so excited about today's guest, and I'm so excited for you all to hear this episode. Today, I have Anjali Bhimani, who is an award-winning actress in TV, film, video games, theater, all of that. Also the author of a book called I Am Fun Size, and so are you. We talk a little about that and how Charlie, her doggy, is the star of the book, one of the stars of the book. Please enjoy this very special episode. We talk about many things and how Charlie has changed her life, and she's just a wonderful person doing beautiful things in the world. So please enjoy this episode of Unconditional. This is actually really rude. Well, that Linus has a treat. So I had to, and there was another dog here earlier that took the other one.
It's genuinely fine. In fact, I'm kind of glad.
I know.
I'm kind of glad because it's giving me a chance to see Charlie. Okay, I'm going to move away from the mic real quick. Sorry.
Yes.
I know I'm consciously doing it.
Charlie, we've decided, is a fashion icon, and we are, yes. So his tie needs to align perfectly.
We'll see how long that lasts. Yeah, I found those in Chicago like 12 years ago, and I bought like 20.
So
adorable. I love the fact that it's not just the tie; it's the whole shirt collar. Also, that's what does it.
It's so great though, because the tie, I think sometimes when they're like super thin or whatever, it like irritates them. But that kind of mimics a collar.
Yeah, and it covers up his collar too. Oh, so he can actually wear his tags and stuff when he's out in the world.
Because he's an icon. He is
a fashion icon. He's a distinguished gentleman.
You were explaining that he is the star and he's in your book. He's in the illustrations.
Yes, he is. Well, he's part of the inspiration for the book. He's been the inspiration for a lot of creative projects that I've done. Aww. But the book is called I Am Fun Size and So Are You, Thoughts from a Tiny Human Living a Giant Life. And he's my co-author. He is, there are so many things I've learned from Charlie and from being a dog mom, but specifically a dog mom to this little guy. And I include them in the book as Charlie lessons. So he has little sections that are like Charlie lessons for all of us.
Oh my God. Are you serious?
So the book is, it's not so much, I hate the term self-help so much. It makes me want to stick a fork in my eye.
I understand. It's like yes.
But it's not even that. It's more, so the web series I Am Fun Size, I started that in 2017, and it was this love letter to the gaming community who had been so accepting and so loving and so supportive. And I wanted to give them something back. And I thought, okay, well, the one thing I have that no one else has is my set of experiences and what I've done with them, whether for better or for worse.
Right.
And nobody wants to hear, you know what you should do, but anyone will listen to a good story, right?
Absolutely.
So I started the series basically saying, send me your questions. I got no business telling you what to do with your life. I barely can do mine. But what I can do is tell you stories from my life that may resonate with you given the question that you're asking.
Wow.
And so that's what I started doing. And so in the book, there are a bunch of different stories based on the episodes. And the Charlie lessons are things that I've learned from Charlie based on stories of our life together.
That is so beautiful.
It's so fun.
So we're going to work our way back into that.
Okay.
By saying, How did Charlie come into your life?
Okay, so I had never had a dog before. Had wanted one my entire adult life.
Okay.
And in fact, I was just thinking about this today. An ex of mine had said, you know what, I really think you need to get a dog because you really need something that you can just pour all your love into and know that you're going to get it back. And while that was kind of a crappy thing to hear from someone you were dating, it was very true. That I was I was a person that had a lot of love that I wanted to shower on someone. Wow. And when it was unrequited, it was obviously painful as, am I allowed to curse on this? It was painful as fuck.
We keeping it real.
Yeah. Okay. No, good. Because I was like, I'm going to have to bite my tongue until it bleeds if I can't curse on this. So I moved to Los Angeles, officially moved to Los Angeles in 2010.
Okay.
Right around when that relationship ended.
From where?
From New York at the time.
Okay.
I had started in Chicago, then moved to New York, and then moved to moved back to Los Angeles. I grew up in Orange County, then went to Chicago for school, then went to New York, and then came to LA. So it was sort of a full circle type thing. But when I moved to Los Angeles in 2010, I realized, I was like, wait a minute. I had just sold my place in New York a couple of years ago. And I was just establishing myself and my work here. So I had time. And I was like, now is the time. Mm-hmm. Maybe this is the time that I think about getting a dog. And my dear friend, Caroline Kinsolving, worked with Much Love Animal Rescue.
Love Much Love.
So great, so right? Great. And she said, you know what? I work with them and I walk their dogs and play with their dogs at the Santa Monica Farmers Market every weekend. Why don't you come down, just meet some dogs, start getting familiar with breeds, see what you're into, see what feels right. So I got there, I was meeting some dogs, and then all of a sudden, this little bugger comes like prancing by and turns and looks at me and then turns towards me and prances on forward. And I was like, well, who's this? And they picked him up and they said, this is Austin. That was clearly not his real name.
Of course not.
That was the name that they had given him because we had to find his real name, which was also a story. And she picks him up and she holds him like a baby and he's just totally fine with it. So we know he's sweet and kind and totally fine with being snuggled. And I just look at him and he licks me from chin to forehead.
Oh my God.
And that was it. I was like, what do I need to do? Do I need to do I need to move? Do I need to what do I need to do? What do you need me to do? I'll pay for a new place. I'll do anything you want. I've never had a dog before. And they had this crazy questionnaire, like not crazy, but really long adoption questionnaire.
Yeah.
And one of the questions was, at what point financially would you find it to, like, basically they were saying, how much would you pay before you have to put the dog? Can't even say that out loud. Like I had to swallow that. Yeah. And I started crying. I was like, I don't understand this question. What do you mean? Why is that even a question? Yeah. And they were like, you're fine. Your reaction tells us you're fine, because they wanted to know how committed people were to actually being there and understanding that this is more than just a plaything. This is an actual creature who will depend on you, and you need to be there for them as much as you want them to be there for you. So that was it. I was sold, and they came over and did a house check. Hi, buddy. I'm telling our story.
Yeah.
They did a house check, and at that point, I spent $200 on special trash cans.
Of course.
I did the whole thing because, again, never having a dog before, I just wanted to do everything. I wanted to make sure I got it all. I wanted to be like A+ mama.
What year was this?
2010.
So this was 2010?
This was in 2010.
How old is he?
He is 15 years old.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And so I got him when he was somewhere between 14 and 4 months or 14 and 6 months.
Buddy!
Yes, he is a distinguished gentleman. He is my silver fox, for sure.
Okay, so you go home. This is your first dog.
I bring him home. So I bring him home.
From the farmer's market.
I bring him home from the farmer's market, and on our way home, I'm like, I don't know that Austin's your name. I don't know. What about, and I start just like saying names, and I go, ooh, what about Charlie? And he just goes, ears perk up. And I was like, that's it. Your name's Charlie.
Oh my God.
That's what it's going to be. And then I knew that I wanted to be a unique Charlie. So I didn't want him to be Charlie IE, but I also didn't want him to be Charlie Y, because that's like flowers for Algernon. And I didn't want to necessarily associate that particular story with my dog.
Oh God.
Yeah. And so I made him Charlie EY. Charley.
Yes, you are. You're
That's
totally
you. Are you hearing
EY.
your name, little man?
He says, Mama, you're telling my story.
You're telling all my good stories, Mom. What are you doing?
So
you're telling all the stories.
you just were like, I'm leaving this farmer's market today with this dog.
Well, no, I
They came into
filled
the-
out. Yeah, I filled
Okay.
out all the paperwork, and they did the background check and all the things, and they came to the house and checked the place. I had an apartment with a roommate at the time,
Mhm.
and they checked the place, and I was literally running around being like, I can change this, I can do this, I did this thing over here. I hope that's okay. And they were like, you're fine.
How was the roommate? Was the
Roommate was great.
thrilled?
Roommate
Okay,
was
all
great.
right,
It's
all
not
right.
so much. I don't know that she was thrilled, but she was
Minus.
fine with him. Like she
Minus.
enjoyed his company. She didn't enjoy it so much when I had to go out of town sometimes, and like she would take care of him. But that's okay. No, I get it. You protect your good. You protect your stuff.
So now
so
you
yeah,
have
so I
this
bring
being.
when I finally
Yeah.
bring him home,
I know.
and I take a little video of him and share it with everyone as he's like he's playing with one of the 94 toys that I bought underneath my desk. And then I proceed to have a complete meltdown because I'm like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm doing. What was I thinking? I'm never gonna, what if this dog, I'm not gonna be able to take care of this dog. I'm gonna hurt him. I'm gonna ruin him. I'm gonna,
Yeah.
and then I look down at him and he's so Mr. Chill. And
Yeah.
this is in the book where he's like, Mama, calm down.
What are
Like,
you worried about?
what are
Yeah.
you worried about? Just, are you going to feed me? Are you going to walk me? You going to play with me?
Oh.
I'm fine. Calm down. It's totally fine. I don't need that much. Like easy does it.
So that was the first lesson. One of the first.
That was one of the first lessons in the book.
He's gonna come.
Yeah.
Oh, he.
Hi, do you need some
want
water,
some water,
too?
bud? Here, I can give you.
Do you need some water too? Well, we've created the cup for you. Oh, Charlie got, all right. So we might end up having a little bit of a brawl over here since Charlie got that treat. So
I'm so happy. Oh no, was he not supposed to get it?
Oh, it's fine.
Okay.
No, it's fine. I'm just being like, we might end up with a little bit of a brawl here. We might have to WWF this situation.
Let's see. So first lesson. So he's chill. What was the lesson for you in that? Like, what is the lesson? Like, Mom, don't worry.
Yeah, basically,
Yeah,
like,
chill out.
You don't have to work. Like, don't create a future that isn't already there. That is going to stress you
Wow.
out in a way that you're not going to be able to handle what the future does hold.
Wow.
You know, and literally in the book, the lesson is Mama chill. That's it. Just Mama chill. Because another way I like to describe it in life in general is, you know, we live here in California and we are all aware that earthquakes are a thing.
Yeah.
Right? And I have been the emergency preparedness person in my family since I was 8.
Wow.
Like we had a whole fire drill because of me. I had I had stuff all over the house. It's a thing.
Smart.
So, but what I realized from that is there are some things you cannot stop from happening. But if you run around just worrying about them happening, you are not going to have the wherewithal to deal with them when they actually come because you've been so busy wearing yourself out over the possibility of it happening.
Yeah.
So what do? You get an earthquake preparedness kit. You make your plan. And then you go about your day knowing that I have prepared as best I can. And that's essentially, that's the Mama chill. That's the same thing, you know? Do we have our earthquake preparedness kit? If you are worried about what's going on sociopolitically in the world, okay, what's my earthquake preparedness kit?
Wow.
If you are worried
What
about
a
what's going on,
lesson.
if you're worried about going to an audition, what's my earthquake preparedness kit?
What is your earthquake preparedness kit for, say, going to an audition?
So for going for an audition, first of all, you got to be prepared. Just be as prepared as you physically possibly can. If they've given you nothing to be prepared with, you need to trust that your entire life up until now has prepared you for it because it's all going to be improv. So in that case, your emergency preparedness kit is faith in yourself.
Yeah.
And is knowing all you got to do is make sure they know you got them. All you got to do is walk into this room and say, I got you.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario, you're going to be entertained. Best case scenario, we can all go home because I just booked the job and your job is done.
Amazing.
But we're all going to have a good time and then we're going to leave. So that's one of them.
Wow.
The other one is again, it's all very mindset oriented.
Yeah.
But just being aware that anything could change. You could walk into the room and they could give you new sides. You could walk into the room and tell you, you know what, we don't want you to read for this part. We want you to read for this part. You could walk into the room and they say, we're 4 hours behind.
Yeah.
I've had that happen before. And the war of attrition is real.
Yeah.
People get grumpy. People get snappy. People think that it's really important for them to go first because they have to get to an appointment. And that is a viable thing. But my job is not for them to take care of me.
Right.
My job is to walk in there and say, I got you and I got myself. Like I've got this.
What a great lesson.
Right.
But also
the same thing.
All taught from
like
him.
if I were to be there, if I were to have sat there crying and whining and worrying about horrible things happening to this dog, I wouldn't have been able to pay attention to the actual dog or enjoy the joy that he brought into my life.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like just that. I mean, that first year
such a good
alone.
lesson. God, yes.
But they do this for us. I think animals do this for us.
Yeah,
they really do. I had someone say to me once that animals are incredible feng shui, and it was such a weird thing to hear, but also I understood it because their energy, they have this clearing energy around them that is so light and free and instinctual
and
pure. And if you come in with not great energy, they are going to feel it.
Yep.
They are going to sense it.
Yeah.
You know, and you will be able to see that in their reactions. So it also helps me regulate my own emotions purely based on, I don't want that little dog to get scared. I don't want that little dog to be nervous. Yes. I don't want him to be sad.
Yes.
Now, early on, he was all about taking care of me. When the first time he saw me cry, he jumped on the bed and he just kind of looked at me. And then he got down on all, like he kind of like started to army crawl over to me.
Oh my God.
And then it was like he said out loud, even though obviously he didn't, it's like he said out loud, you know what'll make us both feel better? If you give me a belly rub. And he flipped over and just laid there like that.
I have chills. Isn't it crazy how they know?
They just know
to shift the energy.
They just know whatever it is. You know, he does this a lot when people come over to the house. That if someone has got crazy energy, he's not coming near him.
Yeah,
like crazy, insane, like not insane, but like very anxious or very big or very angry, he's not going near him. But if he just senses that someone needs a little love, he'll just hop up and just lean on them.
Oh,
just lean up against them and be like, I'm here.
Yeah,
don't worry about it.
Yeah.
He will also straight up get in the face of anyone who is not a dog person and be like, are you sure? Are you sure you're not a dog person? What if I lick your face? Are you sure? I'm going to make you a dog person. You just wait. I'm going to make you a dog person. So we got to temper that a little bit.
But that's like, they know. And this is what I say. I really feel, I truly, like, well, have you ever, I mean, I do. Well, I'll speak for myself. Okay. Whether like just a person in life or even someone you're dating or whatever, if Charlie's like, are you like, Because I'm like that.
There's only been really two people. Like he does have that reaction a little bit. Well, I take that back. He does occasionally have that reaction to children, which is not ideal, but it's usually when they're being, when their families have not really taught them how to approach a dog.
Right.
Like the kid comes running up to my dog, there's a 50-50 chance he's going to be okay with it.
Yes.
And so I usually get down to his level and hold him and like pet him when we're around children. But there was once when there was a particularly agitated, unhoused person that we were walking by that he was, and this was also when he was really little, when he was a little more like, I'm going to protect you, mama.
Yes.
Then he figured out I could take care of myself.
He's like, I'm going to teach you.
I'm going to teach her how to do it.
He was probably helpful in that, actually. Yes.
But then, and then the other one was an ex that he met. And it was pretty funny because I was like, wow, he's the only person that this dog has an issue with. Wow. And I remember him sending me a message. I really hope your dog gets over that, like that nipping, biting thing. And I'm like, this dog didn't nip and bite.
Maybe you deserve that nipping and biting.
At that point, this dog was like 8 pounds. I'm like, maybe you should get over you. I don't know.
Oh my God.
But I thought it was hilarious.
He knew.
He knew. He was like, you're not good for my mama. Hey, buddy, you want to come over here?
Okay. So so Charlie's come home. He's teaching mama how to chill. And then you guys begin this life together, basically. And everything changes. I mean,
everything changes.
Us, right. Yeah.
Everything changes. You know, there's God, I again, like I think about all the conversations I have had with him, the one-way conversations, but I do think that like whatever answer you hear in your head, that came from somewhere.
If you're, 1,000%.
And when I first got him again, I don't know what I'm doing. He was mostly housebroken, but not completely at the time. And I remember sitting with him and being like, okay, we're going to make a deal with each other. I will take you out at 3:00 in the morning. I don't care where it is. I don't care when it is. I will drop everything. but you got to let me know. And you need to let me know clearly because I don't know how to read this. I've never done this before. And sure enough, like there was one night after that conversation, middle of the night, I just heard like the tiniest little, and I was like, I'm up, we're out. You did it. You told me. This is amazing.
Yeah.
You know, and just those little things, those little joys that started to come into my life. And I also got him at a time when I was particularly, you know, I was not doing so great. I had just gotten out of this relationship and moved. I'd gone through a bunch of stuff. I was kind of achieving what I like to call head from ass extraction. And
oh my God, I've never heard it
quite put that way.
Like that, I know what it means, but I also love that that's how you
and
put
so
it.
I was just like peeking out of my ass, trying to find out what the world was. And I met this little guy. And just changed, just in terms of priorities, it changed everything.
Yeah.
In terms of knowing that I would have somewhere to place this love that would come back to me no matter what. That was really special. And then, and what was, I mean, also incredibly timely is that 3 weeks after I got him, I met my husband.
Stop it.
Now, he did not become my husband or my boyfriend for quite some time after that.
Your heart was open.
But my heart was open. I was happy. I wasn't yearning for love, and I wasn't waiting for love, and I wasn't wishing for love. I sort of didn't care. At that point, I had kind of been like, you know what? It's going to be me and this dog for the rest of my life, and I'm totally cool with that. I mean,
but
like,
you were okay.
I was okay for the first time in a very long time, and probably through all the relationships I'd been through previous to that, you know, like, because I think there was a definite part of me that wanted desperately to give my power to someone else to make me happy, rather than figuring out how to find that in my own life first and then share it with another person. That sense that I needed to be picked to be valuable, you know? So I met my husband soon after, who also happened to be a crazy dog person. Which is fantastic.
Stop it. I love that you like didn't have a dog before and then now you're a crazy dog person. You meet another
I firmly believe, I tell Rick this all the time. I was like, I know you dated me for my dog and my family. I'm fully aware of that. And they're all awesome. And I support that decision.
I love that because in a weird way, Charlie brought him in.
No, he very much did.
Charlie.
He very much did.
Yeah,
he's a little love magnet, this little dude.
Oh my God. So 3 weeks later, you met your husband?
I met my husband doing a show. He was, so I was, the weekend I got him, or like the weekend after I had just gotten him during the week, I auditioned for a musical starring a gentleman named Ty Taylor, who had also written the musical.
Yeah.
And he cast me in it opposite him because he was in it too. And Ty was the lead singer of my husband Rick's band. And Rick was going to play bass in the band for the musical. Mm-hmm. And the rest is history. They were best friends, and they are still tight as thick as thieves. And that magic happened. In fact, the first time Rick met Charlie was at Ty's house. So you are standing at attention.
He's like,
my dude.
Now this is his language. So I've also gotten to know him. I mean, I've only had him like a year and a half now. I mean, we are deeply, deeply,
deeply in love
in it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just like in it. Like I already know like you were talking about, because I think what you were saying about like the communication part, I also feel like and some people get this or they don't, but like they force us to be present.
Yes.
There is no world.
100%.
Which puts you in the space to hear him.
Yes.
Like, you know, and for him to hear you, like they almost don't, they can't relate. It's just like you're talking about like the kids when they come out, like they almost can't, that's too much energy. Yeah. And it's not present.
Well, and also it's threatening.
And it's threatening, of course.
You know, like it's just a kind of a basic animal instinct of like, I don't know what this thing is and it's coming at me.
I feel like he understands that like temperature in me. I had a dog too, even before. She was also like a reader. If people didn't like an ex of mine, should have really listened to her and saved myself a lot of time on that one. But she was a very, 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 very communicative, but they're also interesting. I don't know if he's like this with you. He is not a sponge for he's more like, Mom,
I'm not going to deal with that. I'm not going to deal with that.
I'm not going to deal with that.
That's exactly
or
right.
take me for a walk and let's get you out of this.
Yeah.
Like he
that's
pulls me
good.
out. Where Peanut, my old dog, would be like, I'd have to really be careful about like, I don't want her to feel this because her tummy would hurt later. And like things like she was an absorber, like an empath. I'm like, he's more the opposite. He'll just like swap my phone out of my hand and be like,
that's amazing.
I gotta pee. Like
that's like a genuine service dog right there.
He has been like, he genuinely is like, I think about how he came and I'm just like, how did I know? How did he know? But I always say they choose us. It's just like him licking your face. Like he was like, you're my person. Yeah. And I'm going to let you know you're my person. And there's going to be no room for you to even question that.
Yeah.
Okay. So now you've brought him home, you've met your husband. So I ask people this because, and you've already touched on this quite a bit, but like, because I feel like they change us. They make us, he makes me a better person. He makes me better for not only myself, but all the everything I do every day. How has Charlie changed your life? That's one part of the question. And then for the better is the rest of that is like, how has he changed?
Well, first of all, he unlocked a certain amount of creativity in me that has always kind of been there, but it was creativity for fun as opposed to creativity for my career. Because I've been doing, I've been doing what I do for a very long time, for decades, and not decade, decades, very close to 3. And he showed up, and all of a sudden I was like, "Ooh, I'm gonna write letters as my dog, and I'm gonna put up Post-its to my boyfriend, like from my dog. And when he's on tour, I'm gonna write letters from the dog or tell him stories about the dog." And again, it sounds like. Okay, it just sounds like you're obsessed with your dog, but there was a lightheartedness that I had been missing, I think, for some time that I was able to find again.
Yes.
Yeah. And even now, like now and this is also in the book, like if I'm not paying attention to him, I feel myself lose him.
Yeah.
I can feel it where he's just like, all right, I'm over you. I'm not trying anymore.
They're starting to play kind of behind you. So I don't want to look at them because they always stop playing when like Linus is
now they're
really
chasing each other. Now they're doing laps like Charlie does. I told you he does laps around our couch. It's crazy.
So that's one of the lessons too.
It is absolutely one of the lessons. Like Mama, love is paying attention.
Wow.
Love is paying attention. Where do you put your focus? Where do you put your energy? Where do you put your attention? Because that thing will grow. If you are putting all of your attention into your career, and for the 5 minutes you see your loved ones, or the 5 minutes you see your dog, for those 5 minutes you can't be present, they can feel it.
Yeah.
And the investment gets a little bit less. A little bit less. I imagine it's exactly the same way for kids, and you hear it all the time. Like that attention is the thing that nothing can buy.
Yeah.
It's not gifts. It's not fancy vacations. It's not all that. It's just attention. And
they check us. They make us check ourselves.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Well, he also there could be a bone sticking out of my leg, but I will make sure he is walked and fed and snuggled within an inch of his life.
Well, yeah.
So there's a level of like, you don't have the luxury of being depressed today because there's a little guy who needs you. So get up. Get your ass up.
I love
that.
Go
do a
too.
thing.
Yeah.
Which also helped me during that time when I was trying to kind of pull out of what I was still feeling. Because I met my husband, but I was still kind of recovering from that previous relationship.
They get us out of bed. They literally.
Literally.
They're our morning, noon, and night. They get us out of bed. They get us moving. See?
Yeah.
They're going to start.
There's
a little playtime happening. Do you have a voice for him?
Oh, absolutely.
I need your dog
voice.
Hey,
my name's Charlie. I'm Charlie. So Charlie actually has a character because I don't know if you know this about me. I don't know. This about me. I don't know if you know this about me. That's not Charlie. I'm a big freaking nerd, and so much of my career is about me just working nerddom into my career.
I love
so
this.
I have played D&D since. You want to come up, Bubba? Want to come up?
Oh, Linus might jump on you. Are you gonna also go up, buddy? Don't.
You want us to tell them about the puppy roll? Should we tell them about the puppy roll? So, Charlie has a D&D character, a Dungeons and Dragons character, because I have played Dungeons and Dragons. You want to say hi? Charlie has played I have played Dungeons and Dragons since I was 8. You want to play?
It's so funny.
You want to play? You want to go back down?
Oh, I don't know if he wants. Linus can be extra when he wants to play.
So. Let's see what happens. I think he just wanted a tiny little bit of attention, just to know that I was paying attention.
Oh yeah. See? He heard you talking about it.
So when I did the Kickstarter for the book, one of the tiers, one of the rewards for certain people who supported the book was I will play D&D. I'll do a D&D game with you because a lot of the people in my community and fans want to play D&D. And so I created the character for Charlie.
Oh my God.
So that then spurred on me on to do something last year, which I've been wanting to do for ages, called the Puppy Roll, where a bunch of well-known friends of mine who also play D&D, we all played D&D as our pets, and we did it to raise money for Petco Love.
Also love Petco Love.
Love Petco. They're amazing.
So good.
They are absolutely amazing. I met them when they brought puppies to the red carpet at an awards show, and I was like, that's it.
I didn't even know it existed. I didn't know Petco had this whole charity side and rescues.
You brought me a puppy. You could do no wrong. I'll do whatever you want.
Legit. And they were like, sorry about your dress. I'm like, sorry, but forget the dress.
Yeah, exactly.
Give me the dog.
No, and ever since that experience, anytime I know they're coming to the red carpet, I'm like, just be aware, there's going to be dog all over this.
Yes.
Whatever it is, be prepared.
More
there's going to be
pets
dog
on red carpets, please.
Yes, please.
Okay.
It should be a requirement.
Yes.
But then also between all of those things and before all of those things, I, have conversations with your dog, and I sing to the dog, and I like voicing the dog, and my husband does too. So yeah, he's kind of got this like kind of happy-go-lucky voice. He's got a bunch of songs. There's a bunch of songs there. There's a bunch of like he's got his morning song. Oh, hi, Linus. Hello, friend. He's like a little sentinel, the way he sits up into attention.
He does. He has very good posture.
I very appreciate
What is your, what's the morning song?
The morning song goes, because he kind of prances in the morning on his walk. So the background of it is the taps of his feet. It goes tum 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 tum, because it's the morning, my favorite time of the day, and it's starting in the very best way. First we're eating, and then we're gonna play. Today could be my favorite day. Dum 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 dum.
Oh my God.
And so that came out one morning when we were walking. I just sang that to him, and now it's canon, as we like to say.
I love that so much because I just imagine too, they set a mood.
Yeah.
From the time we wake up. But like literally,
they
think
absolutely
about
do.
that. Like you just sang this song, this little sweet little song of joy. Do you have a greeting for him when you walk in the door that is your greeting? Mine for Linus is like, who's the best boy?
Oh,
do you have your own that you walk in? And
there's a bunch of different ones I do. Lately, we've been, my husband, oh my God, I can't believe how cheesy we're like the cheesiest couple of the cheesiest family.
Bring the
ever.
cheese.
So I get really excited when my husband gets home. So I don't know when this started, but I'd hear his key in the door and I'd be like, announcing Mr. And I like do that. So we'll do that with Charlie. Announcing Little Bear. See? You know it's you. You do. But usually it's, hi, Bubba. What's up, Bubba? But he knows that we're not at home right now. And he's also exploring. This is the thing. Like our neighborhood, unfortunately, is not, it's walkable, but it's not necessarily, you certainly can't let your dog off leash where we are and stuff.
Right.
And so he is such a social pup that he is desperate for dog time. Like he will not go in from his walk until he sees at least one other dog.
Oh.
He will not have it. And so
Charlie,
that kind of social chairness right now, I think, is what you're experiencing, because he's sniffing everything because he's like, oh, hey, I think Lucy was here. And, oh yeah, maybe this is Fluffy. I think Betsy was here the other day. Like, we call it floof.
Because it's like fire hydrant. And he's like, oh.
Totally. He's like, nope, I see who was here today. Oh, just so-and-so had chicken. Like, it's really like he's getting all the information about the world.
Linus keeps staring at you. He loves these voices in the song. Like, he's so cute.
Yeah, we have a lot of songs for Charlie.
I ask everyone too, if Charlie had an occupation in the world, what do you think he would?
Charlie has an occupation in the world. Charlie's, and it goes along with his character. Charlie is a very well educated dog. He is a doctor of biscuitology. He got his let me see if I can get the pedigree right. He got his bachelor's degree in biscuit making. He got his master's degree in biscuitry, and he got his doctorate in biscuitology.
Oh.
So
wow.
He is also known as Charlie B. Barkenter Bard and biscuitologist. Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes. And he would also be a doctor.
Oh, a doctor?
He'd be a doctor.
Oh.
A doctor.
Oh, a doctor. I got it. Okay.
Yeah, the doctor is in. Whenever we're feeling bad, we're like, go talk to the doctor.
Because he's a healer.
He is absolutely a healer. I mean, I did get him trained as a therapy dog and take him around for a while with that to just, snuggle with people and make people feel better.
Because that's what they do.
They really, really do. Yeah.
So Charlie has changed your life, is now the subject of your book. He is a character on D&D.
Well, he has a character in this thing called the puppy roll.
Oh, the puppy roll.
Which is, which will go on. I plan to do it again this year. So.
Amazing.
So yes, we will have the puppy roll 2, the sequel.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that.
Yes.
And so you basically, the other question I always ask you is if you were a celebrity in the world, but he is a celebrity.
That's the thing.
Yeah. That's
He's already Charlie B. Barkenter Bard and biscuitologist. People know his People know his theme song.
What is?
I went to Costa Rica and a person I was at doing a convention, and one of the people who came up to my booth was like, "Oh, I want to sing the Charlie song."
Do you take him to the convention?
I've only taken him to a few. I don't take him to, as much anymore because now my husband is home more from tour, so he can, he can watch the pup and they can hang out and have bro time at home.
But people, and I love that people come up.
Yeah,
and ask you.
Yeah, this was another like one shot that came out, and I was like, "That's it. That's his theme song."
I'm unbelievable.
It goes, "Charlie is the best dog in the world. He makes everyone happy with his tiny paws. Charlie is the best dog in the world. We all love him the mostest of all. We all love him the mostest of all, because he's the best."
Oh my God, stop it. I feel like we're getting like the concert, all of Charlie's songs.
Yeah. And then the rest of them are all
it.
to the tune of TV theme songs.
Like
The West Wing is my favorite one.
Oh my God.
Charlie for Prez. That one's excellent.
Oh my God. I love this.
Yeah.
Why?
I feel like I'm sharing all our deepest, darkest secrets. Other people are like, "This is where the bodies are buried." I'm like, "This is the song we sing."
It's good. And it's going everywhere. It is not only going to go to the podcast, it's probably going to be on social media too.
Oh,
and this
excellent.
is why.
Look at that, buddy. Your EP's coming out.
But this is why I'm doing this. I feel like because they bring out, first off, they're so healing. They're so everything you're talking about and like the life lessons, and also all of everything I feel like I relate to my entire life, and things like even like grief and taking care of myself, but also what you said about this lightheartedness and joy. Just you singing these songs, they bring out this playfulness in us that I feel like we do somehow, like we do kind of lose. Like we have to work harder to find that, I think, in our lives. And I feel like they walk in and they're just the epitome of that in every way, whether it's love, whether it's play, whether it's get out of your head right now, take me for a walk, like whatever. They naturally have that because, I mean, that's why I'm calling this unconditional, because it is an unconditional, pure love. And we're always changed by them. No matter, I mean, I love that he was your first dog.
Yeah.
Like, and only one too.
Yeah.
Like that's what I was going to say. What was your history like growing up?
I had a hamster in 3rd grade. That's it.
And that's it.
Nope. So Nugget the hamster. That was it. I mean, probably had I definitely had goldfish from like.
Sure, but
I don't know that counts.
No, I mean, it does.
It does in terms of like a kid caring about it. But you can't snuggle with the goldfish.
And then you can't snuggle with the goldfish. You can't. No, you can't.
Yeah, but no, Nugget was the first like real pet. Nugget had a couple of songs too. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh my God, look at you.
Yeah.
So you're just you are an animal, like you're an animal person.
I love animals. Don't at me. I'm not a cat person. I'm very, very much not a cat person.
Well, there's a line there.
There's a line there for me. I'm also extremely allergic to them, but I also understand that that's something you can work through if you like you can do allergy shots and all sorts of stuff. But they are not necessarily big cats. Love big cats. Love the big wild cats.
Right.
But I don't entirely trust the domesticated cat because I don't believe they're entirely domesticated.
Look, I just had a conversation with my friend the other day, and I love cats, and I love people who love their cats because I also don't have that same like connection that they do to the cats. And she literally, we were sitting at dinner and she was like, my cat's an asshole. Are all cats asshole? Like, are they asshole? Like, we love them.
Yes, friend, yes. The answer is yes. Underneath it all, if they are being awesome, they may be lying to you. They may just be putting up a front
something
so that they can get fed and eventually take over your life.
Yeah.
And maybe kill you.
Maybe.
I mean, you never know. That's it. I'm canceled. I feel it.
I love the frankness of this. No, that's why I want to do this because I want people to be able to come on and be like, just the same way. I had someone last week that was just like, he is not the easiest dog. Yeah. And it's really good for me. Like it stretches me and it makes me more patient and it's made me have to really focus and get to know him because they'll do that too.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
They know.
I mean, Charlie was such an easy dog from the very beginning. I have known from the beginning that when Charlie gets a brother or a sister, the bar is too high to me. Like there's no way it will be that easy. Yeah. And I'm so grateful to the universe for making it so easy this first time. But I'm like, I'm prepared. To be like, you know what, let your expectations be a little bit lower and let them be exceeded rather than expecting them to be this dog.
I think that's a great place to be. But I also think based on just in the short time that I've known you, you're going to know when it's your dog and you're also going to know the reason.
Yeah.
And so I don't know that there's necessarily like, it may not be as easy, but there would be something in that for you.
Sure.
That you'll know. Yeah. You'll know. I think a lot of times people just get frustrated and they
Yeah.
But it's like you're present enough. And just as you have been another probably Charlie lesson too, is like you already have that connection. You already have that presence, like communication and awareness around it. You're not going to be the person. So my point is,
I do think it's going to be a little bit different, or a lot different in that Charlie was my first dog, but also he was my dog. And then I met my husband.
Yeah.
So any animal that comes into our lives from here on out, there's going to be parents. There's going to be two of us figuring out how we live with this beautiful little creature and sort of, learning how each one of us raises him. Like this dog was raised by my rules. And then Rick showed up and had to follow them.
Right.
Whether he does that all the time or not, Charlie's a little spoiled now. He may be eating a lot of table food. We may or may not have a good cop, bad cop situation going on. I can neither confirm nor deny the allegations.
But he knows who's boss.
Yeah.
And he also knows.
He knows that I'm the one that's going to make sure no matter what happens, he's fed and walked and all of that.
Yeah. But you're going to find that next dog that is going to be you'll know. It'll just be like, this is my next dog.
Yeah.
Like,
we did almost come home with one of those Petco love dogs.
See?
From the red carpet. From the red carpet, the first time, I make this joke all the time. I went to the Astras. I went to the Astra Awards. I met the folks from Petco Love, went to the Astras, almost came home with an Oscar. He just had 4 legs instead of a 2-legged statue because there was a dog named Oscar there. And that was
your dog.
We sat there and talked about it for an hour.
Yeah.
While I sat in the pen.
Yeah.
As we talked about, like, is Charlie going to be okay with this? Are we going to be okay with this? Are we going to have enough time? Are we going to be able to take care of Oscar in the manner in which he should be taken care of? All of this stuff. Questions. And finally we ended up, letting Oscar go to another beautiful home.
But more rescues on red carpets because what a great way to help them get adopted.
Absolutely.
They also get that like airtime and photos with it's really cool.
That's one of the things that we did with the puppy roll too, that all of the characters that were not players, all of the characters that I brought into it were adoptable pets from shelters all over the country, and we got one of those little babies adopted.
I love that.
Yeah,
that's such a good story. Anything else you want to add about Sweet Charlie, or you, or anything before?
I mean, gosh, I
know. Where do we begin?
Where do you even begin? Because as you can, I could sit here and talk about him. What we do as actors for a living can be, if you're not careful, it can be a very self-centered thing.
Yeah.
And even with the best of intentions, because you're always thinking about, will they pick me? What do I need to change? How can I be better? Me. And so one of the things that I never expected from getting a little dog is that I would be a better actor.
Wow. And why?
Because I was much more focused on the thing in front of me than I was on myself.
Wow.
And it's just another reminder, the I got you, that came into my system well after I met him.
Wow.
Because again, you're present.
Yeah.
If you're not worried about yourself, if you're connecting with your scene partner, if you're connecting with the
Yeah.
folks in the room, if you're just kind of dealing with what's around you and being prepared and all of those things. But that's what makes things fun. That's what makes things magical. And that's what makes you fun to be around.
And also our hearts are more open. And I feel like in the creative world, like the more open your heart is to be curious and explore, the more open your work is going to be, your art is going to be, and the way we go into the world is going to be.
And the more you realize that at the end of the day, whether or not you booked this audition is not it's not.
Come on.
It may change your life one way or the other, but it's not going to ruin your life.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean? And so
that's such a good point.
That sense of cool, like this could have been a game changer, but the game's pretty good because I got this guy as my playmate. So the game's already pretty good. We maybe don't have to change the game.
Yeah, exactly. I love that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Like, I feel like I could talk to you.
Oh my God. I can't even believe we're already done.
I can't either. I was just looking down at the thing. I feel like I'm having this experience on this podcast, which I love, but I like with certain people, you being one of them, that I feel like, I just met you. We walked in today. I just met you, but we sit down and we talk about this subject, which is love. And, and by the end of the interview, I'm like, I know we
you
even see each other in a way, I don't know. It like really connects. And I love that. So I'm also going to say like, come back.
Are you kidding?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I tell you, I said this to you, I think before we started recording, that how lovely it was to get the message, hey, this gal wants to do this podcast with you. I think this would be fun for you. And I was like, wait a minute, you mean I don't have to talk about myself? I can just talk about the dog.
Yeah.
And we can talk about like how the dog has affected our lives and all of like, I love being able to tell stories that guide you towards something rather than talking to you directly about that thing, if that makes sense.
I in my entire career of acting and all of that too, I feel like the great unifier, like the great icebreaker is tell me about your pet, or like, do you have a pet? Do you have a dog or whatever? Then we're off and running. And also of those conversations, as you just said, it's not like, so again, tell me about you, or tell me about your relationship, or tell me about this thing.
Right. Or what are you doing? What are you working on? Oh my God, it makes me want to stick a fork in my eye.
Exactly. But when you lead, the conversation does turn to like life, love, loss, all the things that like we end up talking about because we're in a different space. You drop into like a totally different space where you're even sharing from a more authentic place because of this little being that is forcing you to be that way. I could talk to you all day. Like, I love this. And your book also, and the lessons from Charlie leading you through like life and bringing you back to yourself, like incredible. So yes, read the book obviously too, but like, I just love your kind of take on the whole thing. And also, you're just great.
Likewise,
you're great.
What a cool thing for you to be putting together. Most people are like, I'm going to do a podcast to be able to sell my client services, or I'm going to do a podcast about this documentary. And you're like, no, we're going to talk about dogs.
We're going to talk about dogs, love.
Dogs and unconditional love. Love.
You got a horse? We'll talk about your horse.
Totally, absolutely.
But I'm with you. I no, it's just like, what? Let's just share these stories of like love, and let's see where they go, because they always go somewhere. Like,
and apparently this guy always goes somewhere because he has not stopped exploring since we got here.
I love that he's so comfortable.
Yeah.
Thank you both.
Thank you
for being here, Charlie. I'm talking to you too.
Yeah. I can hear you. I'm just focusing. Don't mind me. Bow tie. Don't mind me. Oh look, Leslie was over here. Oh yeah.
He's sniffing around. I love this so much. And please come back.
I will.
I would just
happily.
I want to just tell these stories all the time. That's
happily.
Every day, all day.
Thank you for having me.
No, thank you for being us here. You're also just like really special and wonderful. And I mean, I am really happy. I'm so happy I got to meet you.
Likewise.
I share all these stories. If you enjoyed this episode, please follow, rate, and leave a review. And also, if you have a great story about your pet, connect with us on socials, because we want to hear all the stories and share all the stories. If you're craving more heartwarming pet stories, you can catch us every week wherever you get your podcast. Until next time, remember, the love we share with our pets is truly unconditional.
Take care and give all of your furry friends and family members an extra hug from me.